Greetings and welcome back to The Point, the chess program where we examine crimes in the opening and discover the most exact tactical punishments. I am your host, Chris Torres, and today we will be looking at a quick victory by Alexander Meek, whom we know a lot about, against a mysterious opponent named Adbor, about whom we know nothing other than his last name. Despite his surname, Meek played very assertively and delivered a double checkmate in only 8 moves. Alexander Meek was born in Columbia, South Carolina in 1814. He spent childhood in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and moved on from the University of Alabama in 1833, where he graduated first in his class. He settled down in Mobile, Alabama, where he became a congressman in the state legislature, Attorney General for the Southern District of Alabama, probate judge, and head prosecutor. In 1845, he was Assistant Secretary of the Treasury in President Polk's cabinet. In his limited spare time, he enjoyed playing chess and writing poetry. In the spring of 1855, he met and played a couple of friendly chess games with Paul Morphy at Spring Hill, Alabama. In 1857, he became a leader of the First American Chess Congress, which was the predecessor to the United States Chess Championship. In round 1 of the first ever American Chess Congress Championship, he defeated William James Appleton Fuller with 3 victories and 2 losses. In round 2, he lost to Paul Morphy with 3 straight losses. Also during the first American Chess Congress, he lost a game to Amelie Paulsen, the sister of Louis Paulsen. Some 8 years later, Alexander Meek passed on of a heart attack, likely from stress caused by the end of the Civil War, in Columbus, Mississippi on November 1st, 1865. The Civil War in the United States started in 1861 following stewing strains among northern and southern states over slavery, states' rights, and westward expansion. The election of Abraham Lincoln as president in 1860 on a platform of halting the expansion of slavery resulted in 7 southern states withdrawing from the United States and structuring the Confederate States of America. 4 additional states before long went along with them. The Civil War finished when Confederate states, those in favor of slavery, surrendered in 1865, the same year that Alexander Meek died. The Civil War was the most catastrophic and deadliest war at any point fought on American soil, with somewhere in the range of 620,000 to 750,000 soldiers killed and a great part of the South left in utter ruin. Following the Union victory in the Civil War, slavery was made illegal in the United States upon the ratification of the 13th Amendment in December 1865. Now that we know more about our winning player and his time period, let's review our 10 opening rules. Number 1, open with a center pawn. Number 2, develop with threats. Number 3, knights before bishops. Number 4, don't move the same piece twice. Number 5, make as few pawn moves as possible in the opening. Number 6, don't bring your queen out too early. Number 7, castle as soon as possible, preferably on the king's side. Number 8, always play to gain control of the center. Number 9, try to maintain at least 1 pawn in the center. Number 10, don't sacrifice without a clear and adequate reason. And now to our feature game between Alexander Meek and Adbor. Enjoy! Alexander Meek starts with e4, placing a pawn firmly in the center. Adbor plays e5. Meek plays to f4. For younger, less experienced players, moving the f-pawn, or who I like to call Freddy early, can be a little bit dangerous because it opens up the e1 to h4 diagonal on your king. It exposes your king. But this is called the King's Gambit, and it was a favorite among swashbuckling chess players of the Romantic era. And Meek was certainly no amateur, being that he hung out with Paul Morphy and Louis Paulsen. EX F4, that's the King's Gambit accepted. Knight f3 stops the queen from going to h4, saying check. And black plays d5, the Abbazia defense, which avoids the mainline king's gambit accepted, instead opts for striking at the center and fighting for the initiative. Knight c3. Meek develops another piece. He could have also taken the more direct approach with ex d5, sure, why not? Qx d5, knight c3 also makes perfect sense. But with 4 knight c3, Meek has 2 pieces developed, black has 0 at this point. And the center is very volatile. Dx e4. Knight takes e4. The center is very open now, which means mistakes will be punished harshly. Bishop g4 pins the knight, but develops a bishop before a knight to an undefended square. Perhaps qe7 would be a better pin to play here. Queen e2. With Meek's queen poised to strike at the black king, Adbor had better recognize the threats. Bishop takes f3. Oh dear. This is a terrible blunder. Adbor assumes that Meek will recapture with the queen on f3, but white has a much better move. Can you spot Alexander Meek's most crushing move? I will give you 5 seconds. Ready, go. If you guessed knight f6, double check, checkmate, you are correct. And isn't it just spectacular that both checking pieces are in price or free to take, except for the fact that black cannot take either without remaining in check by the piece he didn't capture. What a fantastic finishing move. I hope you enjoyed today's chess game between Alexander Meek and Adbor. My name is Chris Torres, and this has been To the Point.